This is the story of the National Bank of Kenya, a financial institution with a rich history, a turbulent past, and a future that's being rewritten. For decades, National Bank was a pillar of the Kenyan economy, but like any institution with a long history, it had its shares of ups and downs. There were times when the bank had to navigate financial storms, showing resilience and navigating through turbulent waters. A few managing directors came and went, each leaving their marks on the bank's journey. The bank has also faced its shares of controversies, from clandestine accounts to legal battles, adding a layer of intrigue to its story. But before we continue, if you are into storytelling and eager to learn new things, then this channel is definitely for you. Make sure to like and subscribe for more captivating stories. National Bank of Kenya, also known as National Bank, was established by the Kenyan government on June 19, 1968. The National Bank was incorporated to offer a wide range of commercial banking facilities. On September 30th of that year, the bank opened its first doors to the public for the very first time, setting up shop in Development House along Government Road, which is now known as Moi Avenue. Back then, the bank was entirely government-owned, a symbol of national pride and progress. The official opening of the bank was done on 14th November 1968, attended by both staff and customers. The ceremony was graced by the presence of then Vice President, the late Daniel Moi. The bank's logo, a proud map of Kenya with a lion at its heart, proclaimed its mission, which is National Bank of Kenya is here to serve you. In 1977, a landmark moment unfolded as the iconic National Bank building was unveiled, standing tall as the new headquarters and housed Harambee Avenue branch. The second branch was in Mombasa, along Nkrumah Road. The branch was officially opened by the late President of the Republic of Kenya, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, who unveiled the plaque to mark the opening. In 1985, the National Bank of Kenya was making history. While other banks were still using manual systems, they were boldly stepping into the digital age. Imagine walking into the Kenyatta or Moi Avenue branches and seeing computers humming away, making transactions faster and smoother than ever before. This was a game changer, and it didn't stop there. Harambee Avenue soon followed suit, making the National Bank of Kenya the first in all of East Africa to embrace computerization on such a grand scale. In 1987, the government decided to let people own a piece of the National Bank of Kenya. They wanted to share the bank with the Kenyan people. So, in 1994, they offered a chance to buy a part of the bank. People were so excited about the opportunity to be part of the National Bank that they wanted to buy way more shares than were offered. This showed that the people trusted the bank and believed in its future. And to top it all off, the National Social Security Fund, NSSF, which had loaned money to the bank, decided to become a shareholder instead. This meant that they weren't just lending money anymore, they were part owners of the bank. It was a big moment for the National Bank, showing that it was truly owned and supported by the Kenyan people. The National Bank of Kenya was on a roll. Between 1995 and 1996, a golden opportunity arose. The Standard was selling off some of its branches, and the National Bank saw it as a chance to expand its reach. They snapped up branches in Molo, Kapsabet, Bungoma, Kitui, and Limuru, along with the Portway branch in Mombasa. The best part is that these branches were already up and running, so the National Bank didn't have to start from scratch. It was a smart move, adding more locations and making the bank even more accessible to people across Kenya. In the year 1998, the National Bank was facing a crisis. A whopping 8.6 billion Kenyan shillings deficit at the Central Bank of Kenya, pressure from the government and the IMF, and whispers of closures filled the air. It was a dark time for the bank, but a new chapter was about to begin. At the 30th Annual General Meeting, the shareholders made a bold move. They appointed Ruben Murambi as the new managing director, giving him the daunting task of restructuring the bank and bringing it back to profitability. They also welcomed Michael Muhindi as the new chairman, adding a fresh perspective to the leadership team. The pressure was on, and the new leadership team at the National Bank of Kenya wasn't wasting time. The year 1999 saw a major shake-up as the bank embarked on a restructuring program. Tough decisions had to be made, and some branches and agencies were closed. It wasn't an easy move, but it was a necessary one. The following year marked a turning point for the National Bank of Kenya. With the restructuring program underway, the bank made a bold move, taking full control of its subsidiary. In 2001, the National Bank was pushing forward with its transformation. The focus shifted to streamlining operations, with the bank centralizing its systems and empowering its branches. But they didn't stop there. The bank partnered with key players like Kenya Revenue Authority (KRA), Tata Consultancy Services (TCS), and the Department of Defense (DoD) to boost bank deposits and income. The year 2003 saw a new wave of convenience sweeping across the National Bank of Kenya network. ATMs were popping up everywhere, offering customers faster and easier access to their funds. This was a game changer, a sign that the bank was embracing modern technology and putting its customers first. The year 2009 brought a moment of triumph for the National Bank of Kenya. After years of struggle, the bank finally turned the corner. They owed a lot of money, about 1.374 million Kenyan shillings. But then, in 2009, they did really well. They made enough money to not only pay off all their debts, but also have some money left overs, a surplus of 53.5 million Kenyan shillings. Mr. Mrambi, a key figure in the National Bank, held the reins as the managing director and a board member until August 31st, 2012. Munir Ahmed stepped into the role of managing director with a bold vision, which is to transform the National Bank of Kenya into a top-tier lender by 2017. He wasn't just talking about numbers, he was talking about a complete makeover. And in May 2015, the bank did just that. They shed their old skin, shedding the National Bank image that had become synonymous with a bygone era. The rebranding was a stroke of genius, a bold statement that signaled a new era for the bank. The bank snapped the Rebrand Global Award, and Mr. Ahmed himself was crowned the CEO of the Year in Finance at the East Africa Banking Awards. This was a clear sign that the National Bank of Kenya was back in the game, ready to compete with the best. The bank's success story took a dramatic turn towards the end of 2015. A surge in non-performing loan, a silent trend lurking beneath the surface, began to erode the bank's hard-earned gains. The once celebrated 3.30 billion Kenyan shillings profit before tax, reported in Q3 2015, started to dwindle, casting a shadow over the bank's future. This unexpected turn of events ultimately led to the departure of Munir Ahmed. In October 2016, Alfred Musau stepped into the role of managing director, inheriting a bank facing a critical juncture. In 2019, KCB Group, a powerhouse in the region, set its sights on the National Bank of Kenya, a respected player in its own right. The offer is made, the stakes are high, and everyone is watching. On September 6, 2019, the news breaks. This wasn't just a business deal, it was a strategic move that merged two giants, creating a financial force to be reckoned with. The transactions was carefully guided by the capital markets regulations of 2002, ensuring a smooth and transparent process. Of course, it wouldn't be complete without the approval of key players, which are the bank's shareholders, the Central Bank of Kenya, and the Competition Authority of Kenya. With all these pieces in place, National Bank of Kenya joined the KCB family, becoming a subsidiary of the largest indigenous bank by assets in East Africa. By 2024, the National Bank of Kenya had achieved a remarkable turnaround. The bank reported a profit of 1.2 billion Kenyan shillings for the third quarter, representing a 142% increase compared to the same period in 2023. The bank's financial performance continued to improve in the first half of 2024, with a profit tax of 839 million Kenyan shillings. This demonstrated the effectiveness of the restructuring and strategic initiatives implemented by the KCB Group. The National Bank of Kenya has also faced controversies over the years. First is clandestine accounts. In 2020, the bank was embroiled in a scandal involving a clandestine account linked to the Ministry of Health, where 2.8 billion Kenyan shillings was allegedly misappropriated. This scandal prompted investigations by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission (EACC), further damaging the bank's reputation and raising questions about its governance and transparency. In response to the ongoing issues, the National Bank of Kenya suspended 6 top executives in December 2020 due to allegations of financial impropriety. Another controversy is legal battles. The National Bank of Kenya has been embroiled in various legal disputes, including significant cases like National Bank of Kenya vs. Moish Consulting Limited in 2020. These cases often revolve around debt collection and contractual obligations. These legal challenges have added financial burdens to the bank and strained relationships with customers and stakeholders. That's the insane story of the National Bank of Kenya. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.